Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tiago Silverio. I'm going to be walking you guys through the sales order processing. This is a presentation that was prepared exclusively to Lazy Days RV, the RV Authority. Really fast, that's me. So I'm Director of Technology here at Dynamics Resources. So basically, I oversee all the IT and the development team and all the architects and what is related with technology. Going fast to our agenda, so I will basically walk you guys through the sales order creation. So during this process, we're going to talk a little bit about the unit configuration that we already discussed a little. That is not 100% fit to your business, but I want to show it really fast. How to create a new unit, how to create a use the unit, because the process can be different if you want to simplify the user devices. I'm also going to talk a little bit about trade specification. That's basically how you customize your agreement with your customers, including insurances, including warranties, creating PDI orders to finalize your order. And also I'm going to do the pack and slip and invoice so we can ship and invoice and of course bill the customer by the end of the process. Moving now to Dynamics. Share screen, make sure that we're sharing. Moving really fast to Dynamics now. I want you guys to see that we have two options basically to create a sales order. So the first option is going to the sales and marketing module, where you have a more simple perspective, basically the starting point of a sales order processing. We have the quotations, we have the sales order, you can manage campaigns, telemarketing, other functionalities that we're not going to be discussing right now, but it's important that you know about them because it's basically a simple CRM solution inside AX. I'm not going to be talking about the sales quotation, but everything that I will be talking during this presentation on the sales order also works for the sales quotation. So as we showed in the CRM process, the quotation is going to be managed by Dynamics CRM. So basically Dynamics 365 for sales. And for that reason, I don't believe that that is important to show this at this point. So the entry point of the order the entry point for AX in this process is going to be a sales order already created. I'm going to be showing how to create it manually, but you guys know that can be sure that this process is going to be automatically created by the integration. So as I said, here we can create a sales order, and we can also go to the accounts receivable and create a sales order through the accounts receivable module. So to create our order, so basically we go to all sales order. We're going to have the list of the sales order, related customer, order types. We have a couple of options here in the top. I'm going to really quickly mention some options like, let me find it here. We have the functions to copy orders that I know there is a requirement for you guys. The copy process can be used for creating for the creation of sales order for multiple devices, for instance, or maybe for optionals. It's just important to remember that the unit is inside the system is a unique entity. So that means that every single unit is going to be have an identity inside the system, and by that, if you copy an order with a unit, that unit is going to be copied to the other order as well. So basically, you need to adjust to the unit that you are actually trying to sell. All right, so I'm going to create a new order here really fast. I'm not going to waste too many clicks on this part. I'm going to select a user, and I have myself here as a customer because seeing that all the RVs that you guys have, I'm pretty sure that I'm eventually going to buy one when I when I became able to afford it. And so basically we're going to go over really fast on these parameters. So these parts are not important. The most important parameter at this point here is the storage dimension and the warehouse, because the warehouse in our design for you guys is going to be one of your locations. So you have, for instance, Tampa, well, basically the location that you can filter in the website that you have. Okay, I'm gonna go fast here, pass through these guys. Here we have some information about the responsibles of the order. So these are usually guys that we use to approve workflows when we have the option configured for the sales order. This is for basically marketing campaign. So let's go ahead and click OK, create the order. All right, so here starts some of the entry points for the order. We already have a sales order created. We have the header of the order. You guys already worked with Dynamics 2009. So we have basically three options to create a line here. So first option is using the device configuration. That's how Anata call it. We're going to be renaming it to unit configurator. So the device configurator is a pretty nice solution. Usually, when we are buying directly from from the manufacturers, and you have good master data about your resource. I want to show this because we understand that you guys have worked with both. We use it in new devices, and with some integrations, it's pretty nice to have all the catalog of products that your provider, your manufacturers can provide to you. So, for instance, you can get in contact with the Tar Motor, and they would be able to send you all the detailed configuration of those cars and the pricing information. And based on your current trade agreements, you would be able to have your price right away just using this functionality. This is pretty nice. We worked in the past with some solutions that we can recommend that basically collect the information of the manufacturers from different brands. So basically, these guys would do the hard work to collect all that data and put in the same format, and they would send that information to you guys, so we can import that information in the system, and you have access to all that information. So really fast here, I'm gonna show. So basically, you have all their brands. So you basically can have the same drill down that you have in your website, and as you go walking through the items here, you can filter the units that you have in your inventory right now, and basically you can select one of the units. As you go over in the process, you can keep filtering by color, by an exterior and interior, basically, and later you can select to install or not accessories. So basically at this point here, you would be able to add, for instance, new television or change radio. You could do basically customize your unit the way that you want at this point. And now this configuration here would trigger based on configurations of the system, a work order where you to install those products inside, those new items inside of this RV. And as we get to this step here, when you search, at this point I don't have any unit on hand for this particular configuration that I selected. So basically you would have here the list of units that has similar configuration. Basically here he says that to list everything that is 80% accurate to what you selected, and then you would be able to select the unit and basically finish adding that unit to the sales order. The other option that we have is basically creating using the item browser. The item browser is also a nice tool because it shows also the breakdown here. At this point, our cars are configured inside the audio products. So let me check actually in the car products. Okay, there you go. Sorry, it's car audio products. All right, so basically here you would be able to have your brands as well. It's just a configuration. You can drill down inside the item groups and the major groups and minor groups that I'm going to show later, and you can see what you have in your inventory. So basically, scrolling down here, we can see the different items that we have over here, and I'm going to select the Palazzo. That is the item that I'm working. I can come over here. I can filter the Palazzo. And I can see what are the units that I have in inventory right now. So basically, all those units over here are available for me to sell. Okay, so we can see here they have an interior the style of CSI. The exterior is like Augusta. This is the sales price that I defined. It's my guess, so not realistic. We can configure that. We can take a look, of course, in general information about transmission, drivetrain, and this is the part that I will be talking with you guys, because this can be more complicated or less complicated depending on how much time you want to invest filling that information for your customer. And specifications, so basically if you do some kind of customization or if you select that it's a different optional, this is going to be listed here. And if this device is reserved, this unit is reserved to any other customer or serious order. Okay, so we can select that unit over here, and that's it. And then we would have that unit on the line. And the third option is basically if you know the product. Oops, I closed my sales order. Let me open that again. Let me check here. Filter for my customer. So this should be my sales order. Yeah, there is something there that I don't know what it is, but let's just create a new one so we don't break anything. Okay, so fast. Okay, we are here again. All right, so since I know that I want the Palazzo, the other option that I have is basically come directly here and filter my item. And I would be able to basically come over here in the product line, select the configuration that I want, and I can check what is on hand. So basically I see that I have 9 units from the 32 Seaside Augusta. So I can basically select these units. And I have this guy over here that at this point is called device number. That's going to be basically your stock ID or any number that for you guys is more meaningful to search for your item. So here in the Lazydays website, we saw that we can search basically for using the stock. We have the stock ID as a reference. So for instance, we could use this number as the unit ID inside the system, so you guys don't need to do, so you guys can use the same number as a reference. All right. Okay, moving forward. So basically, the option that I'm going to be choosing is going to be the item browser, because I believe that is the easiest one to create, to find for a product that is already in inventory. If you don't have the item in inventory, then the best option would be using the device configurator, because you're going to acquire that. Or if it is a used unit, the best practice would be to create the device first, then we add it to a sales order. And I'm going to show how we can do that. Okay, so for instance, let's say that I want to buy a new device, that I want to sell one of the new devices that we have there. I'm going to use an item browser. I told you guys that we have it over here. So I'm going to select one unit. I'm fitting to, I want to sell the Palazzo. So let's go after the Palazzo because it's a really nice car. And one of the things that is worth mentioning is that you guys saw here, I already showed you the product, the price of the product. How does it work? Well, we have several ways. You guys might be aware, but just going to mention really quickly. So you can set up in 3 ways, basically, the price of any item in the system. So you can set up directly the item master data, so it's going to be fixed there. You can also configure a trade agreement for that, and basically define through different criteria. For instance, you can define that for customers of a specific customer group that can represent a region of US, or for all the customers, or for a specific customer that you're going to do a different price for them. So basically you have an hierarchy on how to set up the pricing for the items. Okay, going back to my sample, I'm gonna select the Palazzo over here, and I'm gonna hit OK, and this product is gonna be transferred to this order. So now we can check some items. So first of all, let's check the details of the trade specifications. So yeah, so continuing our our demonstration over here. The next item that I want to show you guys is the trade specification, and we can find the trade specification here in the line. So basically here, since the screen is a little bit tight, our trade specification stays here in this corner, and after 365 menu, trade specification. So this is a really nice screen because basically here is where you're going to be customizing your product to get to the final price that you want. So the first part that you're going to see here is the custodian. So the custodian in Anata is basically the person that has some kind of relationship with that device. So basically it can be an owner, it can be just a person that's holding the car for the unit for that moment. So in case, since this is also to cover heavy machinery, maybe it's the operator that is handling that, or if you want to flag, you can flag also the first owner or a co-owner, maybe the wife of the property, or the husband of the owner of that device. And you can also attach some information here related to that, for which version that they registered that car, that the unit or service that was hired. So basically you have a couple of different options. You can also request the registration here, because since this is a new unit, you need to do the license plate and registration. So you can do that from this point. Second tab that we have is the insurance. So basically, we can set up options of insurance. I can show really quickly what are the options, what are the kind of options that we have over there. Let me just open it over here. It's better to just go to the device module. So let's navigate really quickly there. So you have some options to basically register the companies that are going to be managed by insurance, the types of insurance, and by types, it's a really simple configuration of the types of insurance. So basically, full coverage. So basically, all the jazz that you can hire from insurance company. You also have the insurance products that's basically are going to have some information about how this insurance is going to work for this particular customer. If you have any other charge, like a kickback charge, and if how the charges vary in between different brands, classes, and model numbers for this particular unit. And we understand that is a requirement for you guys to have this information integrated. So we have two solutions for this part. And as I go back to the sales order, one of the options is basically integrate having a recurrent job that's going to basically pull that information from everything that you have on hand in a daily basis to your inventory, basically update whatever changed, and have this already set up here. The other option is basically by the time that you are at the sales order with your customer already in front of you, because that's also part of the variables of your inquiries, we would be able to basically here in the sales order, we would be able to come here in the lines, and I select again the wrong device. Let me go back there. Okay, so sorry, I paused the video really fast to find my order. So yeah, so we would be able to come here in the sales order, and as we go here to the menu from trade specification, we could just basically put in a click, or maybe as you click in the tab, we could import the information about the insurance and use that inside in this particular proposal. Also, have the warranty here. The warranty basically is what you guys are going to provide, or is what the manufacturer is going to provide. So basically at this point here, you have the standard warranty. The warranty is confirmed and is going to be activated by the time that you post the invoice for the sales order. But you also can include other types of warranty, because maybe you guys want to sell a different warranty for the customer, and you basically can include that information over here. As you can see here, the item is missing, so this item is going to be the one that's going to add the price for this warranty on this sales order. Okay, and keep going forward. So continuing here, the service package basically is when you want to basically sell in advance the services that this customer is going to be executing in the car. So basically you can create a package, and you're going to sell him the 6 months, the 1 year, the 1 year and a half, and the 2-year maintenance. And that maintenance can be both by time or by mileage. The deliver part is we have another item that we're going to be checking. That's basically we're going to be creating a PDI order. That's basically going to be the inspection before you actually deliver this car to your customer. Okay, so stopping over here. So in the device, we have basically the device usage. So we can say at this point we have 0 mileage for this device. We are going to include here 40 miles a day daily of the device usage, and that information is going to be used to forecast the planned maintenance orders. And we can add, of course, some documents and notes that are relevant for this particular car, the unit. So going back here to the delivery, so the next step is going to be creating the PDI order, so we can do the inspection that they're going to be used to validate the delivery. So to create the PDI order, come to this menu, and you click in create PDI work order. I just clicked, so the order is already here, populated. So basically I'm going to open the order. And as you can see the message before, show this over here. It already printed a message saying that it added a job list to my work order. Okay, let's open the work order. I'm not going to run the process for this work order right now because they're going to see that in the service module. So basically here, the part that I want to show you guys is that we have, as it created, it automatically assigned some financial resource for me to be in charge, another person. We have a co-responsible location. If this maintenance is internal or external, and by internal it means if the cost is going to go for yourselves or for the customer. We have some planning information over here, so we can schedule it, and I'm going to show it later. Active reception, where we can have 3 resources that are going to be associated to that device. And we have basically a major task here that is actually the task that's going to be part of the execution, or the main task that's going to be driving the execution. If you go here in the top, in the work order tab, we have job lists. And here, you will be able to see if there is any job list associated to this device. It looks like there isn't, but I'm sure that I assigned it. So let me just check what is the option for that. Okay, details should be this task over here. Okay. All right, so let me just assign the job list again. So we're going to expand here the brand. We're going to find our model, and we have a couple of job lists here. If you go straight to the top, we will be able to filter different lists, and I'm going to select this one. That is a PDI standard job list. If we scroll down over here, we can see what are the items and the hours that are related to that order. So basically we have a functional operation, a walk around, two operations: PDI-01, that is a functional operation to make sure that the unit is working. Second one is a workaround to check if just to make sure that there is no scratches and everything. And for this one, there is no items associated to that order. Okay, select this. Okay, so it was created here. We can have some details. Okay, the project is not in the correct status, so but that's okay. All right, so and this is what I want to show from this guy over here. So basically, we're going to assign resource, and I'm going to show that in the next step in the service order. Okay. Going back to the sales order, I think that I showed everything. So basically, as you go over the trade specification, the price of your product is going to be increased. And as you get the final price, you are able to basically calculate the monthly payment or the leasing or whatever, or however, whichever way the customer intends to pay you guys, you will be able to work over that part. Okay. Of course, there are some adjustments that might need to be done on that screen to make it more easy to be fulfilled. And if the intention is to use that functionality, we will need to replicate it somehow to the CRM, and that's what is not really a big problem. It's just a small change. Okay, so next two steps here, and that's fast. Basically, we're going to start after the PDI order is completed and approved. We're going to basically post the picking list and the packing slip. I'm going to show you directly the packing slip because it's a Unity. There is no reason to go to a shelf to pick it up, right? So let's just post the document. I'm going to select really fast here to get all the units that are on this order. We can check over here in the details. Let's just go over here, display dimensions. Device numbers are already selected. So that means that we can check over here the device number, or that's going to be your unit number. That can be the stock number that you have in your website. So I'm going to post that information. Have an error message. Let's check. Serial numbers needs to be specified. Okay, that's an error in configuration. So basically, it requests the serial number. Serial number is not mandatory when you have the device ID, but I'm going to select it here so we can proceed with the process. So post packing slip. Let's go here. Update line. Pick line. Let's select here number 5. Okay, I'm gonna try to post it again. So let's see what happens. I just did the reservation of the serial number. There you go, we have a packing slip. And of course, that if you guys are using an external entity as your financial institution to do your leasing or mortgage financing for the units, you would be using in the sales order a different account for the invoice. So basically, the customer wouldn't be owning you. The customer would be owning directly the financial institution. and the financial institution would be owning you guys the remaining amount that the customer has. As part of the down payment, also the customer can use a trade-in. He can use his unit. You guys can evaluate that and add it as a trade-in in the process. And of course, a prepayment could be used as well directly from the customer against the sales order. Prepayment could be processed during this step here. Okay. All right. So as the next step now, basically, is invoicing. So we're good to go. I'm gonna go to the invoice. Customer already received the merchandise, and we are gonna post the invoice. Let's print just to make sure that we can see the result. That invoice, okay. There again. And there you go, we have our invoice. So basically we have our Palazzo, this is our unit price, and this concludes the sales order processing. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys in the next video.